Happy Thursday, everyone. This is Garnet Old. No inside info, no context, no problem. I'm Ryan. That's Vince. Reporting live. I am from the Georgia Captain Black's Fishing Studios. Uh, I got the lights, I think, narrowed down at least a little bit, and not as red or dark. But Vince, how are you today? Now you're the dark one.
Yeah, I am doing great, Ryan. I'm so happy for you because you have made the transition finally. You've moved to the Great White North, just beyond the wall. You're beyond the wall now. Craster's Keep, that's where you are. And I'm happy for you because I know it's been a big chore for you. I'm also happy for anyone, by the way, that has spent any time doing some deep sea fishing with Captain John Black. Captain John Black from Captain Black's Fishing in Panama City Beach, Florida, the premier offshore fishing captain that I know and that a lot of you know, maybe in the world. And if you are interested in that kind of thing, which you should be, seek him out and let him know Garnet and Old sent you. And when you're in Tallahassee, by the way, you need to go to the Palace because the Palace is a tradition in Tally.
Unlike
And they're also becoming a tradition in being our tailgate sponsor. And they will be doing so again this weekend for our final home tailgate of the season for the game against Virginia Tech. So thank you, Palace Saloon. Thank you, Captain John Black.
Thank you, everyone, for already being active in the chat. Let me tell you what, Vince. Following a moving, I do have a story to tell the audience. All of you know I moved over this past weekend, and so Saturday night, for those that you don't know, I moved out to the middle of nowhere, like countryside. So Saturday night, it's about 10 o'clock at night, and U-Haul full stuff, and it's about 300 yards from the start of our driveway, dirt road, to our house. Like, so it's quite a little trek. Making the right hand turn, everything's going normal until I feel the spinning of the wheels. Now,
you were stuck in the snow.
Me being one who's lived in Florida and done beach travel before and driven on the beach multiple times, I immediately took my foot off the gas, as you should when you feel any kind of loss of traction without any substantial movement forward. And looked at it, did everything, did all the tricks, right? You put the branch under you dig in front of the wheel, and you put whether it be a branch or plywood, whatever it is.
Whatever you have access to.
Keep in mind, it's pitch black out because I'm in the middle of nowhere. So
I'm tired. Tire.
I had woken up that morning at 3:45 a.m. to begin the process of moving. So I'm very grumpy. Get to 11:30 p.m. and it's clear that this ain't going to happen. The good news is, U-Haul, they have free roadside assistant, and I had actually upgraded to like the plus before the reservation.
White glove service,
meaning you won't owe anything even if you get the thing stuck. Get them finally to answer and like kind of give me an answer at around 12:30 at night, and they say, well, we can't get someone there till 3 a.m. Because you're in the middle of nowhere and it's the middle of the night on a Saturday. So instead, at 1:30, I said, well, can you just set someone out to come out in the morning, and I'll just lock the back of the truck. We have this little LED like flashy thing that you can put on anything.
So you slept in the back of the truck?
No, we walked the 300 yards to the house, slept, leaving the truck halfway sticking out in the road with the flashy thing on it. And then I slept 4 hours, and then I woke up and met the U-Haul person, the tow truck, who, by the way, so it wasn't as easy. Usually you get towed out somewhere and you don't need to go back where you just got towed out of. But instead, I just had to back it up, Terry, a few hundred yards, And what you do is you just floor it.
Oh yeah, you got to get through it.
But
Get
it's
the
a
momentum.
right-hand turn on a narrow street. So harrowing moments. Got it. And then on the way out, before I came back with the U-Haul to avoid getting stuck again, I took my 4-wheel drive truck and just back and forth on the driveways, mushing down the sand, which worked shockingly well. It actually compacted it, and then I flew. You've never seen a sharp hand U-Haul 26-foot truck hit a turn so hard and so fast in your life, where my wife was holding the handle and saying, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." But we got out, and then probably the busiest work week I've had since being at my company.
Yep.
So
You've been non-existent.
I think this weekend's going to be a nothing weekend.
Yeah. Somebody's saying in there, what you know about Terry? We know about Terry. Well, we know about Terry. Back it up, Terry.
Back it up, Terry.
For those of you in the chat, looks like we got a lot of breeze going on in the chat here. We got Breeze Fry. We got Ride in the Breeze. How about that?
I feel the breeze.
It's very windy in the chat. Let me kick off our goal, just so everybody knows. Every show we have a goal, and the goal is $100. It's what we're trying to accomplish every week. Sometimes we hit it, sometimes we don't, but we appreciate everything, and we just appreciate all of you watching. But for some reason, the goal thing in YouTube itself is not working. So we'll just do it here in the show. You can super chat if you want to make sure your comment gets read. And regardless, we will give away some memberships here at the end of the show.
I like them. So Vince, one thing I forgot to tell you is here on Garnet Old, we've won championships. I mean, it's clear as day.
We know what it's supposed to look like.
We know what it's supposed to look like, and we're going to get it fixed. No explanation of why we haven't fixed it yet, but we have the answers.
Ryan, and when we win the championship, everyone is going to enjoy it.
Everyone's going to enjoy it.
Everyone's going to come around.
It's going to be awesome.
Whether you thought it was going to happen or not, when we hoist the victory trophy, we will all be enjoying it. Look at
Breeze
this.
Fry, $20 out the gate.
Wow, look at this. Breeze Fry. Hey, Breeze, I wanted to mention to you, I think I've already mentioned on this show, Ryan and I are going to be at the Georgia Southern game on November 22nd. We're going to be doing a show from there. So I know you live in Georgia, and it's probably not that far from you. So why don't you come and join the Garnet Old gang in Statesboro?
Statesboro, only 30 minutes away from where I am now, and it'll be a good time. That's a less stressful day. Like, you just get on the road and go to Statesboro.
Oh man, for you it's less stressful, yeah.
Man, but we did. I'm glad what we learned this week about Florida State, Vince, is that we finally know what was missing, which was absolute purpose.
Yeah,
I mean, if they had just had absolute purpose before the Virginia game, we don't lose that game, right?
I mean, no, you don't. When you have that kind of, what for? When you have the purpose, you don't lose any games.
Absolute purpose.
Absolute purpose, yeah. I mean, we're gonna tongue in cheek this thing all night. We just are, because that press conference was something else.
It was a departure for Mike Norvell from his usual. I prefer, I've already complained about some of the media stuff that Florida State's put out. However, Vince, you'll notice in the last couple weeks of shows. What are you looking at, Vince?
I'm sorry, I had to make sure my stuff had transitioned over to the live.
Even though I had condemned the marketing, from the social media aspect of Florida State,
right,
I actually thought up until this week, Mike Norvell did the best he could in most of the pressers, like, what do you want him to say? Like, yeah, we're putting in the effort. We're going to try to get this thing fixed. The guys haven't quit. Like, you have to say that. This was the first time where he hadn't quite moved into the Dabo territory, but he dipped his toe in the Dabo water.
Yes, he did.
Because what you don't want to do is reference past successes as a crutch on why people should not stop believing in you.
Yeah.
And then to say, almost in a manner of, don't be a fan now, when we start winning, it's
Yeah.
very much that feeling of, hey, I've won championships. You won one ACC championship. And when we hoist that trophy, and the whole time he's talking, it feels like he's referencing a national championship. Like, yeah, sure, would we like to hoist the ACC championship again? Yeah, for sure. But I don't.
So would Miami.
Yeah, so would Miami. That's so funny. And apropos of the month, it just felt like, Norvell, come on, man, you didn't need to do that.
Well, even though I think you can make a correlation to the things that Dabo has done, it's not exactly the same. I mean, Corey kind of teed him up for him to go on a tangent, and he did. I mean, he took that opportunity. I I I don't know that Norvell has the audacity that a Dabo has, right? He couldn't. He doesn't have that kind of pedigree.
Yeah, he would never look out and say to the athletic director, "You can fire me if you want."
Right. I think for Norvell, it's more of and God bless him. He he believes in everything that he does and says. And, I don't think, even though with all this commotion going on around and all the stuff that people are saying and all the stuff about, he could be fired tomorrow or the next day or whatever, like, he, I don't think his mentality allows that to be real to him. Like, he is in his own confidence bubble, and
Yeah,
for a lot of reasons that is a very good thing. But for the general folk that out here watching the press conference, and let's face it, the people that are watching, head coach pressers, um, they're pretty locked in people, right? They're pretty in deep. Of the 65,000 people that go to a Seminoles game, what would you say, like 8 to maybe 10,000 of them are those kind of people? The rest of the people that are at that game they're fans, and they passionate about the team, but they don't get into the minutia like the rest of us do. So the people that are watching that presser are the ones that are probably the most angry or the most frustrated. So of course, anything that he says related to his confidence, or how he doesn't, it's like he's not even aware that there's a possibility that this thing could all end for him in like 3 weeks. Like, that doesn't even compute for him.
yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Like, I don't want to say it's off-putting. I mean, you could say that for sure. You definitely could say that. But you're right. You almost get the vibe of, like, do you understand? Do you know it's what's happening to you? Like, it feels like you don't know what's happening here. So
Well,
yeah,
and
it's
hey, if he like if he feels that, which I'm sure he does, I mean, he can't not feel it. If he has the ability to compartmentalize that and just say that's what's happening over there, but it doesn't affect me at all, man, that's
yeah,
some serious ability to laser focus, man. And that's to be commended, in my opinion, even though you could look at it in some ways and go, wow, how out of touch is he? Like, I don't want him or any other coach. I don't want my football coach to care about what the loud the loud masses are saying. I don't want him to care about that.
Vince, do you think he really believes though?
I think he does.
Let me ask you: does this face? I mean, when you look at that face,
Yeah.
uh,
So
does
the
it scream?
pictures, like this kind of snapshot though, Ryan, like you could do that with any photo. With live photos especially. You could scrub through the frames and find the most awkward look and capture that. You know that.
But if nothing else, in all the pressers, he has either looked tired, disheveled, or devastated. So I think I read it as like um, almost like I'm not gonna let you guys think that I'm not caring, so I'm gonna put on this false bravado of like, hey,
That
I'm
could be
still
it too.
here.
That could be
Because
it
there's
too.
no way he thinks he's gonna be here at the end of the year.
I don't know. I mean, there's a comment in here. Al pasta 85. Al pasta. Al pasta
Al dente
85.
pasta.
How do you know he had been told he's coming back? We don't know that. We don't know that he's been told he's coming back or that he's not coming back. The chances are he hasn't been told anything, in my opinion. Um, so, Ryan, okay, you've got a good job, Ryan. Do you anticipate? I mean, are they going to tell you, hey, in 3 weeks we're going to let you go? That's not the way it works.
I, the only way in which I feel for him in this scenario, Vince, is that because it's so crazy that they haven't fired him yet. You're like, man, you guys are really just letting my man walk the plank, like in front of. We are getting Billy Napier if Billy hadn't been fired, like though everyone know he will be, like so. I feel
Maybe.
bad from that standpoint that there is no scenario, especially after that last loss, um, which I do like that Gus caught himself when he said, that's a good team we played, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, talented,
Nah, not. Yeah, they have some people, but they are not a good team.
yeah. In
So
fact, they
so
had a worse record than us at the time.
so
Um,
what do you think, Ryan? Like you said, we've got all this momentum building, all this frustration building up, all this in some for some people anger and like crazy anger, which I'm going to tell a story about here in a little bit. Um, do you think that the administration would just let that continue to fester and create bad vibes around the program if they had already made up their mind what they were going to do? I don't think that's the case. I don't think you would allow that to continue to
um,
build.
I would say you would if you know that maybe potentially if you know that you're going to make a change, but you haven't come to the answer on who that can be because you're still in process of finding that out, and many of your prospects wouldn't be available to the end of the season. I could see a scenario where, yeah, what good? Like, if look right now, hypothetically, all aside from optics, what good has Florida firing Billy Napier really done differently for the program? Have they gotten any amazing recruits without a head coach right now? Uh, have they been amazing on the field? Are the fans thrilled with the team? Really, all it does is it satiates the fan base that at least something was done. But guess what? Even me, who wanted it more than anyone to already be done,
Yeah.
even if they wait till the end of the year, in a year from now, I wouldn't even be thinking about that. Like, it would just be like whatever. So I really believe that Florida and Florida State are not in any different scenarios. It's just one told you what they were doing ahead of time.
I had a buddy text me the other day, and the
Jimbo,
text was very simple. He said, "What do you think would make the FSU fans happy?" Like that was the text. And I thought about it for a while. And I replied, I said, the only thing that's going to satiate like the vocal masses is for like the administration, the athletic department to publicly like shame the coach, like and basically stab him in the back and do things that they're just not going to do.
You don't
There
think
is
just firing him this weekend would make a difference?
no, and you know why? Because then everybody's going to say, well, if you did it now, why didn't you do it 2 weeks ago? Like you're never going to appease those people. And they shouldn't care about that, to be honest with you. They should only care about what is in the best interest of the program. And I know, you're diehard, Ryan. I'm diehard. Everybody that watches these shows, we're all like Garnet and Gold Saturdays, and when they win, we're elated. When they lose, we wonder what we're doing with our lives. But 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 they are more about like the the program, the overall program, and they're not going to base that emotional highs and lows like the way we feel them. Um, it's we want them to feel and act the same way we do, which is knee-jerk reaction to every play, every penalty, every fumble, every
Yeah.
dropped pass. Like we want them to feel that way, and they don't, and I'm glad they don't.
The one thing I've been thinking about more and more that I think they're going to actually do in this situation, um, I've been like realistically, not what I want to happen or wishful thinking, which you guys know my opinion on that. I think they could be in which they very clearly said we're going to reevaluate everything, which tells me it's more than just about the head coach. Is it possible? And I know a lot of other shows have kind of beat around the bush of this. Is it possible they say, listen, NIL is not too dissimilar from a NFL contract now. Um, you don't need a Lane Kiffin to get guys to come here. You can pay a roster. So how crazy would it be? And I think it's possible. And it would put Florida State, just like Mike Norvell when he started going heavy into the portal early, he was seen as like, wow, like he did it better than anyone early before everyone caught on. Could Florida State really be that first program that restructures the whole football program in an NFL like format in which you have a general manager, a less expensive head coach that is not tied down by the clutches of a all guaranteed contract 7 years, but instead like a 3-year contract, um, and focus your money away from celebrity head coaches and big names to a more NFL like mythology,
Talent
which is
acquisition.
talent acquisition, general manager. You have the general manager, you have the head coach that reports to the general manager,
Scouting
a whole lot of talent scouts, and Florida State would be on the cutting edge if they did something like that because it's probably where college football should go now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they are gonna start to adopt some of that stuff, but um, you still need the right type of head man, whatever that means.
But do you?
And you do. Yeah, Ryan,
So in the NFL,
you and I are not going to be the head coach
no.
of a
What I mean
Division One
is, what I
program.
mean by you don't. In the NFL, you'll have a head coach get recycled like 3 times in a decade between teams, and one team it didn't work out at all, and the next week he was amazing and incredible for a couple of years, and then it petered out. But because they're not handcuffed by long-term contracts, they fire him, and then the next one he's still there and he's doing okay. Uh, because of the model of the NFL, which is you know roster management and acquisitions, you don't need to have you got to have a good mind for football. Obviously, you wouldn't hire a head coach that doesn't know football, but it's less about that one guy, the figurehead, and more about, hey, if he doesn't work out because of the contract structure, we just go find another one
Yeah.
until it works out.
I mean, that is obviously the more professional route.
Yeah,
And, you know, I have a split idea about that because, I mean, let's face it, like, we were blessed with one of the premier figures that has ever graced the sideline for all those years. And that was one of the beauties of the college game, was having these, guys that become statues, right, on your campus, and not just for you, but like the rest of the country knows who they are. Like, there are no statues of Bill Belichick, right? There are no statues of uh, give me another good one. Chuck Noll, I don't think. Maybe there
but
is a
maybe that
statue of
time
Chuck
has
Noll.
passed in college football.
And that could be. I think there's a happy medium though, right? That where you can still have these you know, I don't want to say superstar, but these, well, maybe these star coaches, but they don't warrant the level of money and the buyouts that they're currently going on. This was the whole premise, and I keep talking about this, Ryan. This is the whole premise of our show months ago, long time ago actually, about this different way of doing the contracts for the coaches.
But that would take
And
other schools also doing it that way, and because or else they'll just take the job that doesn't do it this way.
well, I mean, but what you're saying is the same exact thing, though.
No, because I think it'd be easier to sell the NFL model because you would make the case of like, hey, other teams are going to keep being inconsistent in this wildly inconsistent way because they're running other programs like the old college football days. We're going to build essentially a franchise model here, and it's different, but you will have incentive based contracts. It's the same idea behind the contract, but the if you present it as a pro model, and the other positions about like hire a general manager, filling us with nothing but scouting, a bunch of scouts. Um, those kind of things would make a huge difference, I think, right now in the modern game. Because right now, if you're going to hit the portal, which I don't see the portal going anywhere as a major contribution to a college football team, unless you're Dabo. Even if it's not even if it's not 90%, it's going to be 50-50 for a long time. And
Yeah.
what makes a good portal class versus a bad portal class? It's evaluation. And if you're just trusting one head coach and a coordinator's evaluation of someone, it's asking them a lot. But if you have a team of
Well,
scouts,
yeah. I mean, let's not pretend that Florida State's staff is not large. It
they don't
is.
have a ton of scouts.
Well, and talent, finding talent is one, but still, because of the way things are right now, you still have to be able to pay for the talent. So, we don't have this mechanism yet where, the market is what it is, and you can't, that's where you're slotted. So you can't, like, break the bank just because you're the only offensive tackle that's available. Like, there's no cap, right? Um, so while what you're saying would be interesting, without those other pieces in place, I don't think that works. What does work though is everybody in the chat. So Breeze Fry, um, I'll just throw a quick thing up from Breeze Fry from early. Norvell did everything he could, and we thank him for that. Now it's time for someone who can recruit to take over the program. You get a lot of people that agree with you on that, Breeze. Ride in the Breeze, welcome to the show. Hello, my brothers. Hello. Breeze Fry also says the Silver Slipper was a tradition. You ever go to the Silver Slipper, Ryan? Or was that closed by the time you became a
No,
student?
that's before my time.
Yeah. Kenny Trill in the show here. Norvell presser was interesting, according to Von Meyer, 6502. It was. We started the whole show with that. And we're still kind of
Message board geniuses.
riffing off of that. Kenny Trill has a hard time believing this program can win a national championship in this current landscape and conference. Well, I'm have a hard time believing we're going to make a bowl game. So there we are. Daniel Gorby, longtime viewer of the program. He's ready for this season to be over. I'm not. I love the football season, and by the time it's over, I wish that it would start again. So, Champs 998. Zero chance the big boosters are going to pay 60 to 70 million to buy out this staff and then pay another 20 plus million a year for another staff. Not going to happen. So that is probably the other side of the coin here, where there are mostly rivals, but there are some people within our own fan base as well that just think the money is not there. I'm of the opinion that Florida State, if that's the decision they're going to make, they have it. So they don't want to do it. I mean, nobody wants to do it. So there's that. Al Pasta 85, welcome to the show. Brandon Farmer 8860. You got a comment in here. We will find out what they are doing with the Norvell tonight. They are having a meeting tonight with the board.
I'm going to need citations.
I haven't been following board stuff, for a long time because the whole realignment thing has kind of gone quiet.
I haven't heard anything like that. So you either have amazing message board genius level sources, or maybe you follow the No3 Twitter account, which, by the way, it gets me all the time.
It does too. It gets me too. I have to oh, wait a minute. And then I look back at it and go, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll get so excited or be like, wow, really? And then I'll be like, oh, damn it, the damn No3. So whoever thought of that to make it look perfectly the same, well done. Because
it's good stuff.
It works. But no, there's from everything we know, there's no new information as far as or when we're going to hear something on Norvell. It could happen anytime. It could happen right now, for all we know. I have no idea.
Thank you to everybody that's here. That's right. Thank you to everybody that's here. Continue to comment. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button on YouTube. Grab the link and share it out. And let's get these numbers to climb, Ryan. Let's get these numbers to climb.
One thing I do want to talk about, Vince.
Let me tell you about the anger story I have first.
An anger story?
Yeah. So after the game on Saturday, which was ultimately predictable yet still frustrating, because it was there for the taking. There's a particular person on X that I will not provide the information on, but somebody had asked the question about, are the Chiefs going to be at the game? This was actually before the game. Are the Chiefs going to be at the game? And no matter how many times people relay this information out there that the Chiefs are only traveling to the Florida game this year, there's always people that don't know that. So this guy chimes in, and basically he doesn't care anything about anybody or anything except for wins and losses. He wants everybody fired. He's very on edge, but
Timothy style.
Kind of, yeah. But in a way that it totally bashed the Chiefs, right? And I'm not going to stand for that.
Yeah.
So I chimed in and basically said, hey, whoa, why are the Chiefs catching strays out here? It's because your feelings are hurt, right? And then the guy went off on me, and calling me a dork, and who gives a whatever about band, and so it went on and on and on. But it was the type of thing that when you have that kind of passion in the fan base, when you have people that are singularly focused on W's and L's, that they become irrational and that other people get caught in the wake. That's the part I don't like about all this.
Yeah, you don't want to go down with the ship. You don't listen when they go low, you go high. That's what you should be doing, Vince. Honestly, the best case scenario for any of us is just to not ever respond to anything on X. Because anytime I do, like 3 hours, I'm like, oh, I'm stupid. I didn't need to. I don't even know this person. I don't know. Touchdown Timothy,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but for me, it's not
Timothy
like
Johnson.
I don't engage them in a pissing match, right? I'm not going to do that. So to me, I can almost always wrap it up with a something that's just way too logical for someone to come back on.
Yeah,
So, um, yeah. So, but uh, I've had my moments too. I'm not going to say that I haven't, but most of the time, I will make my point known in a way that can almost not be like you can't really have a rebuttal to it. So anyway,
I like
it's
them.
out there. Speaking
Vince,
of bourbon, speaking of larceny bourbon, that's not what I'm having right now, Breeze Fry, but this is some good stuff.
yeah, well, what's funny, Vince, is one thing I wanted to point out. So I know these look like up here that they're lights, right?
Yeah, they do. Is it a reflection?
I got smart here. The only lights are below it on the desk, and then to the upper corner.
Mm-hmm.
All I did, there's a TV up there, and I knew it would
Ah,
refract the light.
yeah, it looks good. It looks like you
Smart,
got
right?
multiple lights up there. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
in the Hall of Mirrors.
yeah, exactly. All mirrors. But Vince, I want to
Let
ask
me
you
a-
one thing.
let
I
me
put
let me answer
this.
this question real fast first, Ryan. Sorry, because Von Meyer asked the specific question: How many away games do the Chiefs go to? Just be curious. So let's talk about this in context. Throughout the late '80s and early or the '80s and '90s, the Chiefs were traveling a lot, and you know Bobby Bowden and the athletic department wanted the Chiefs to be there, and so they found a way to make it happen. I can tell you that in 1993, the Chiefs went to all the Chiefs, or at least a large portion of the Chiefs, went to every away event that year. So imagine that. Imagine the Chiefs
Mm,
being at the Duke game. Maybe we didn't go to Virginia. I can't remember, but almost every game, and that went on for a real long time. In recent times, there's this new mentality that the Chiefs are only allowed to go to one away game every year. Allowed is not the appropriate term. The Chiefs will go to, or whatever part of the Chiefs will go to, whatever game that the visiting team provides tickets for, like offers tickets for. And I'm not saying that they have to be free. I'm just saying they have to be in a block.
yep,
And and that the Chiefs or the athletic department or the Chiefs travel club money, that they have money to go. So it's a combination of those two things. The
sure.
Clemson game for the last two away games there, uh, I am of I am of the understanding that Clemson did not even offer or did not allow for the tickets for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
So even if we had given them the money, so there's this whole new mentality with programs that are like, wait a minute, why would we offer these tickets or why would we have these tickets available? Um, which maybe we could sell otherwise, and or why would we bring one of the best college marching bands into our stadium
sure.
to basically dominate the vibe of the game. So it's not that the Chiefs don't want to go, it's a combination of those other two things. And the directors of the Chiefs will tell you they will go anywhere that The school needs them to go, provided the event has the seats and they're offered and the money is there. So, but that has equated into this new narrative, like the Chiefs are only allowed to go to that is total false. That is completely false. Anyway,
I want to do something real quick, Vince. I am, you know how I like to do things ad hoc in a show.
Yeah, I know. So while you're doing that,
hold on. Stand by.
You got to mute that. We don't want to see like what's below the camera, Ryan, just so you know.
All right. So, Vince, look what, let me add it on. So this is the computer, right? There's the background. Look what we got here.
Oh, your liquor cabinet. There you go. That's looking nice.
Pretty nice, right?
That's right. That's right within reach of you. If the show starts to go off the rails. Yeah, I don't do that, but I know a lot of people do, and they love it.
I just wanted to show that. I thought that was a very nice piece of furniture to add here. To have it right there within arm's reach after a long, hard day, you know. But back to the Chiefs, they should go all the damn time because
they
already play. They already play in the greatest city in the world, in Tallahassee. They should go all the time. But I do want to save time to talk about one thing that makes me a smile for once in the realm of Florida State, Vince. Are you ready to eat a W, Vince?
Yeah, well, let's talk about Jameis before we get to the Virginia Tech game.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, it was announced that because of Jackson Dart's injury concussion protocol, Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback of the New York Giants this week. And if you guys haven't, go on X and just search Jameis Winston because you'll find it. In his little press conference about how he's feeling about it, he said, you know, I'm going to operate with surgical precision. And I play for the greatest city in the world. Doing Hamlet. And what I love about Jameis these days is you go in the comment section of opposing fans, random NFL fans. They have no Florida State connection. They have no Jameis connection. Every comment is, how can you not love this man? He's a national treasure. He is the most entertaining player in the NFL. And I love to see that because for so long he was dealing with kind of like recalibrating his image, rightly or wrongly, based on your point of view. But I think everyone is finally getting to see like what we loved about Jameis as Florida State fans, which is, man, he's going to give a great, you know, that on that game this weekend, they're going to have the cameras all over him for his pregame speech. They're going to ask him how he's feeling right before he, you know, takes the huddle and post game, and nothing beats right now in the NFL, in my opinion, a Jameis Winston inspiration speech pregame.
Yeah, so one of my favorites for him, my wife and I were just talking about this because she had brought up a thing that she saw about him, and I'm wondering if he really said it. I don't think he did. I'll get to it here in a second. But one of the favorite things we have about him is how when he goes into the huddle, he calls the play like it's a surprise for everybody.
That's a real quote that one of his fellow players said about him.
No, I know that's real, but she saw this meme that someone created, I think, what basically says, yeah, they just fired the coach. I'm going to drive this team like I stole it or something like that. Yeah. I don't think he actually I don't think he actually said those words.
But he should have.
But he should have, right? That's in a way that's Jameis-y, except for the coach just got fired. He wouldn't say something like that. But I'm going to drive this team like I stole it.
And be like, we're going to go ace 3 left, and I want you guys to be excited. Let's go.
Listen. Guess what, guys? Guess what? Guess what play we're going to run? And
We've been working
guess
on
who's
it.
going to get it? And guess who's going to get it? You don't know who's going to get it. It's going to be a surprise. So, I mean,
And
you
all
just
the
got to
players
love
who
that.
play with him love him too. So it's,
Yeah.
when the other players like him, it's not like a facade.
Yeah. We might
And
get 4 touchdowns, 2 picks in
oh, my
this next
favorite
game.
things are in the comment section of that video is people are saying Jameis this weekend, 700 yards, 10 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Right.
Yeah,
But the most entertaining game that you've probably ever watched this season.
correct. And I do love. I saw a recent video where he was preaching at his church with his kid in his arms,
Yeah.
and my man could do public speaking, man. And my hope for him,
My hope for
I
him is for us to get him on this show.
well, yeah, that would be awesome. But I think career wise, post football would be hit play by play. Like, give that man a mic
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it
let
would be
him just have
awesome.
fun with it. Like, imagine him play by play on any football game. It's going to be the most entertaining broadcast you've ever seen.
Yep. I agree.
Because the horses
$20
prepare for battle, but victory belongs to the Lord.
$20 toward our goal. Again, if you want to have your comment read, absolutely for sure. Super chat us or Venmo us. There's a Venmo there at the bottom. This donation structure here helps us continue to do the show. Ryan, I got to tell you, I'm still very impressed with our ability to dominate week by week here.
Yeah.
How we do anything is how we do everything,
Well,
week
we
in
win
and week out.
championships here.
Yeah, we're trying to win them. Is this weekend a championship game, Ryan?
No, I think we lose this game. I know Virginia Tech's awful. I'm still shocked by
The spread?
the spread of us being a favorite. How large? Not that they were a favorite, but how large
We were a favorite against Clemson too, I think, by the
on the
time the game
road.
hit.
Which, yeah, sure. Convince yourself of that one, I guess. Tyler from Spartanburg.
I'm pretty sure we're going to win this weekend, but you know,
you wouldn't
you
be
never know.
surprised if we lost.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost, but the home games have generally been better, and Virginia Tech is a whole lot of bad, and
So can I mention
it's
one thing though?
it's not like the Clemson game. It's not like there wasn't significant opportunities in that game. I mean, significant.
I watched the replay. So this is the last opportunity, Vince, for what I think your best chance is to have Mike Norvell fired in the middle of the season and not the end, because this is the last home game, and if Florida State, let's just hypotheticals, Florida State going into the fourth quarter is down 3 scores or something like that against Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm. And they announce it over
just
over
that
the
kind
speakers.
of what the fan response would be like in the stadium, and then the scene like as it's nearing clicking down to 0, and as Mike Norvell's walking to the back, like those kind of images tend to move the needle more for administrations than just like an away game. Is like, oh my goodness, the fans were chanting the whole fourth quarter like fire Mike or something like that.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get fired after this game, Vince, he's not going to get fired until the end of the year. So
Yeah. And I
there'll
don't
be no
think she's
reason.
going to get fired after this game, because I don't think they're going to lose this game.
Man, is it the same person over and over saying Mark Stoops over and over? Now listen.
Yeah. Let's talk about Mark Stoops.
I don't hate it.
Al Pasta 85
I don't hate it.
Loves him some Mark Stoops, apparently. Or
I don't
maybe
hate
he's
it.
a closet Kentucky fan is trying to get rid of Mark Stoops. He's trying to manifest it. I don't know. But he does have a helmet, garnet and gold helmet there in his image.
If that was announced, like if it was going to be Mark Stoops, I would be completely neutral on it. I would be like, I like Mark. He was good when he was here for sure, and he's done pretty good things early on in Kentucky.
Mark would be the perfect candidate for the thing you're talking about.
The new model. He would be low risk. He would take the job because he knows he might be getting close to getting fired at Kentucky. or maybe he does get fired at Kentucky for all we know. And
He knows
you
ball.
could, as a Florida State fan, talk yourself into liking that move.
You could, because you could look at his time at Kentucky and go, he's done more at Kentucky than anyone probably should be able
Well,
to.
he's done more at Kentucky than Mike Norvell has done here in the last 2 years. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
apples and oranges, and you could then go into nostalgia mode. Remember when he was here, like what the defenses look like, and you could talk yourself into it, but you wouldn't get the knee jerk. There aren't too many selections that we could do that would get the knee jerk immediate, like that's an amazing hire, because there's not many of those types of guys out there. Like it would have to be a Lane Kiffin for some people, not for all. I think some people would not like Lane Kiffin, but like those kind of guys, they're just not falling off the trees. They don't really exist anymore because there's so much parity in the league right now. I mean, look at all the big schools not named Ohio State going up and
Well,
down every week. Look at Miami. 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, they were the best team in college football, and now they're not even going to make the ACC championship in all likelihood. And their fan base is now calling for him to be fired.
that's exactly what I was going to say. It doesn't matter who even the name is, because
Right.
you know, the grass is always greener. There are Ole Miss fans that are absolutely tired of Lane Kiffin, and they want to move on. So this is not, we are not in some weird, like it's only us. Like this is all over the place. What have you done for me lately?
Well,
Everybody thinks that everything should be perfect, and that's just not the way it is. Like
I
you
hate to
have to
tell
take the
everyone
good with
out
the
there.
bad.
I'm going to tell everyone this straight face from now until unless major changes happen in college football. It's going to look more and more like the NFL from a record standpoint every year. Now you should never expect a under 500 or 2-10
You
campaign, which is
shouldn't.
why we're so
Not at
pissed
Florida
about
State.
Florida State. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Could I see te- annually a Texas, Ohio State, a Michigan, a Alabama, Auburn, Wisconsin, all these teams having a 7-8 win season regularly? Yeah, I think what we're in now with NIL, it's just created the parity that. Now, me personally, I quite like the parity. I quite like not thinking Alabama's just going to win the national championship for the 100th straight year, and we only have 4 teams in. Like, I like the idea of,
Not when they get dog walked by us.
listen, I'm the guy right now where I'm like, go Indiana, go win the title this year. Like, that would be great,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
But what's going to happen is one of two things. This is going to continue, and it's going to be considered a good year when you win 7 or 8 games because you're might be on the edge of making a playoff spot because everyone's winning like 8 games in a couple years because the talent spread so evenly. Or all those big money institutions that are pissed off right now because they're not able to collect all the talent that they used to be able to collect are going to get some rule passed that also favors them again and allows them to collect all that talent once again. Um, that's a more likely scenario that in the next 5 years, you're going to see something pass, some rule, some law in which it definitely tilts the scale back towards the traditional powers who don't like. Let's be honest; these guys are used to winning and winning almost undefeated, and perennially being the only ones involved, and they don't like the Indianas treading on their turf. And they're going to do everything they can to consolidate that power. Now, what I think that will look like, Vince, is not a rule against NIL or anything, but just a continued consolidation of what conferences get in the playoffs. Hey, like it's you got to be in the 3 conferences or these only 2 conferences to even be eligible. Like we're a different tier. We are the brands, and yeah, we'll let 2 teams in every year from outside that, but predominantly, you should be in the SEC or Big Ten. I think that trend continues where more and more teams for the playoff spots are um, guaranteed to these super leagues.
Yeah, they don't like the fact that that everybody's allowed to pay people now, and it's all above board. That's changed the dynamic. Absolutely.
The
Um,
last thing I want to hit on, Vince, the very last thing, the last 5 minutes, is we now have credence to at least one side of a story. Knowles 247 reported that Jimbo Fisher openly is lobbying for the Florida State job. Now, for some, that's not a surprise at all to me. Of course, he would. He wants to coach college football again. He used to be successful here. He lives in Tallahassee, so yeah, if he thinks the job's going to be open, which it probably will be, if not already behind the scenes, yeah, of course he's going to lever. He's going to try pull every lever to see if it's an option. Now, the article did go on to say, based on the reporting, that it wouldn't be Florida State's first option, but it did not say it was not on the table. It just say it wouldn't be the first option. Now, how many times in college football have you seen option one taken off the table, option two taken off the table? And, if you remember a couple of years ago, what was it? What team was it where like the coach was on the flight and they were like, no, we're not going to let you take over because he
that
did.
was Tennessee, I think.
Yeah, Tennessee with what's his name from Rutgers, like the old head coach of Rutgers, right?
Greg
Yeah.
Schiano.
So you can't predict that your first, second, and third choice are going to be on the board right now because who knows? I mean, Florida could think they're going to get Lane Kiffin all the live long day, and then in 2 weeks he signs a massive extension. So the fact, Vince, that you have now confirmation from official reporting, not just a message board, that Jimbo is openly lobbying behind the scenes for the Florida State job, it has to at least, even if it's only a percentage or 2%, increase the potential likelihood that it could be a potential option.
I am lobbying as well to be the trumpet player for the Billy Joel band.
Yeah, but you don't have anything behind you, and you would. I know you. You would
But
probably do '80s only, Joel. You know.
that's right. You get my point. You can lobby for anything. That doesn't mean that the people that are actually making decisions even give a rip who you are or where you
But they
what
might with a guy who won a national
or
championship
what you
here.
want. Maybe they are like, there is no way. So of course Jimbo would be nostalgic about trying to recreate the lost magic with an old girlfriend after he crapped on her multiple times.
That's
Of course he
way.
would.
Yeah.
Of course he would.
Yeah.
But this girlfriend's moved on. This girlfriend knows that there are bigger, better things out there. Hey,
Are there?
And yes, there are, man. You don't want to go backwards. You want to go forward. When someone shows you who they are, you should believe them.
If I put on the Florida State hat, even if I'm a person who was here maybe as a booster, powerful booster during what Jimbo did, I would still, out of pure curiosity and sure, let me hear out what he has to say. I would at least hear him out and hear what his plan would be, who his staff would be, what he would do differently, like those kind of things. I would still want to hear it.
Well, how about this? How about this? If he's really lobbying for this job, if it's available, Florida State's in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He knows that too.
So Florida State would be like, hey, all that crap you pulled the last time, not going to happen again.
Yeah. And
You're
the
not going to
contract will
flirt
be
with other
different.
schools. You're not going to treat everyone under, within your realm with disdain. You're not going to do those things.
You're not going to be an OC.
You're not going to, right. You're not going to treat treat the rest of the Florida State community like they are beholden to you just because you're the head coach at Florida State. Hey, I know that football drives the money train, but let's not pretend that Florida State as a whole is not a juggernaut in many different aspects,
Yeah.
in athletics, in education, pretty soon in healthcare, and just across the board. So this is, for for a university to allow someone to lord over him like that, uh, Florida State would be in the driver's seat there. So yeah, of course, Jimbo is going to lobby for the job. I'm going to lobby right now for this weekend, Ryan. I'm going to lobby for this game this weekend. The Virginia Tech game is the last home game of the season.
What time
We've
is the
already
game, Vince?
the game is at 7:30. Nice night game at Doak Campbell Stadium,
I was hoping
Spanx
for a
Field,
neuter.
and there will be a tailgate at Lot 12. Possibly, everybody, the last tailgate that we'll ever have in Lot 12 because of the email I got from the boosters last week spelling out how the parking situation next season is going to be different, and they're going to be allotting more lot spaces toward the Golden Chiefs and up. And I am of the opinion that Lot 12 is a hidden gem, and we're gonna get bumped out. I have a feeling next year. So this could possibly be, people, the last hurrah at Lot 12 for Garnet Old. But it will be a good one because it'll be sponsored by the Palace Saloon, and there will be plenty of beverages there, courtesy of our friends at the Palace. You should come out, Ryan. You should make it happen.
I wish I could, but I can't. No one loves a miserable Florida State record team like the media does, putting us on at 7:30 week after week. Nobody. In fact, it has me confused because on the years that Jimbo was here, that we were, what would you say, trending towards another, like a 9-win season.
Get over to YouTube, people. Giving out some memberships here.
During those years, Vince, that we were pretty good. Not even a national championship team yet. On the regular, we would do like 2 nooners in a row. But now that Florida State's under 500, they're like, you know what? Prime time. Again, the people love the subpar Knowles. They draw the money.
The people love the old drunk man going down the street in his underwear. Like, let's take a look at old Bob there. Doesn't have his faculties anymore, lying down in a puddle of his own sick. Here we go, Ryan. I'm going to give these away. Ryan, maybe now that you're settled, we can do a members only show.
Well, I'll do you one better, Vince.
Here they come, people.
7:30 on Saturday. Why don't you all hop on a live stream with your boy Big Papa East and watch the game together? What do you think of that?
Just do it, people. That's awesome. Michael Morris gets a free membership to Garnet Old. We didn't hit the goal, people. I know, but I still love giving these things away. Steven, straight up Steven, nothing else, just Steven, received a membership. Trey Jackson.
The Trey Jackson?
Or Trey Jackson? Trey Jackson? You'll have to correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Mike Holly received a membership. And then, straight up Tomahawk gets a membership. What does a membership mean, Ryan?
It means you get to get a couple emojis that you can use in the chat. It means that you can, if you tweet at us on X and say, hey, member here, I'll follow you back, and you can DM us, and we'll read your questions first on the Garnet Old show. And I'm considering, here's my dilemma here, Vince.
And I was going access to the members only shows.
Here's what I was going to say, Vince. I was planning on making my live stream during the game a members only, but I don't know if that's the right move.
It's not the right move for this. No. But we do need to do
the people
members
only
shows.
All fans want a piece of Big Papa East on a Saturday night at 7:30 with his liquor
will you be drinking?
Right here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, will you be drinking? Because that would be pleasant.
Maybe a robe involved. I don't know. see how it goes. Now, Vince, last thing before we say goodbye. 28 days till the cruise, my friend.
28 days till the cruise, and only 7, 8, 9 days until we're doing Garnet Old at the Georgia Southern game. So you and I are going to be getting together twice here in less
You
than a
better
month.
secure that beer garden for us. Sir.
I'm trying. I'm not the one securing it. I've got a contact there, waiting to hear from him. But we'll see what we can happen there, or see what can happen with that. But
We
yeah,
need to do a
so
lot better.
28 days until the cruise, the Garnet Old cruise. Cruise now to Jacksonville in December. You've got the 22nd. Garnet Old's going to be at the Georgia Southern game. People are like, why do we keep talking about Georgia Southern? Well, my daughter goes there, so I go to a lot of their games too. And Florida State has a Friday night game that week, so we're going to be going to Georgia Southern. And then
What
this
time is that game,
weekend,
Vince?
I think it's a night game.
It's 30. I think it's like 40 minutes away for me to get to Statesboro. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And then again, just to remind people, the tailgate in Lot 12 this weekend. We'd really love to have a lot of people come by and say hi. Great show, Ryan.
It was a great show, Vince. It looks like Georgia Southern is 40 minutes even away from my location.
Yeah.
That's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
It is.
Well, everyone.
It's about a country mile.
And there's a lot of country here to go around. Everyone, have a great night. Send Chiefs all the damn time. No inside info, no contacts, no problem, and go Noles.
Appreciate you guys. Go Noles.